Thank you. If I may, can we please give a round of applause to Chef Pam, who actually is out here in purple, and her entire staff for this wonderful meal. Thank you. At this time, it's my honor to bring forth Assemblywoman Allison Littell McHose to say a few words to us before we get started with our awards.
Sorry about that. I had a little bit of a walk to get up here. I'm so happy to be here tonight. My name is Assemblywoman Allison Littell McHose. I drove here from Sussex County. That took me a little while to get here, but anyway. And I am thrilled to be here on behalf of the legislature. And I am here to honor my friend and constituent, Don Stoll, who has been nominated for 2 awards, so I'm thrilled to be here for him. And also, ooh, someone throwing things at me or what? Okay, just checking. It's campaign season, I'm a little jumpy, you know. And, but anyway, I just want to thank you again and echo what the commissioner and the captain have said about all the work that you do and the time and commitment you give to your communities. And we in the legislature really, really appreciate it very, very much. And I look forward to coming back to this dinner in the future. So thank you and congratulations to all the nominees.
Thank you, Assemblywoman. And now it's time to kick off our awards portion of the evening, and we were going to start with Dr. Al Sacchetti, chairperson of our EMS for Children's Committee, and he'll be presenting our first award.
Thank you very much, John.
Thank you, Al.
It's always a pleasure to get up here and give these awards because these kids are so impressive when you look at what they've accomplished. Our first winner worked this summer at a local pool. One of his coworkers began to have difficulty breathing. This young man recognized the severity of the situation and put his training into practice. Taking charge of the scene, he assessed his patient and recognized the need for additional resources. He directed another individual to call 911, put together the oxygen delivery system, and coached the frightened patient through the entire ordeal. Exemplifying performance under pressure, it's a pleasure to present the award for Outstanding EMS Action by a Youth to Brendan Clune. Brendan, come on up. Our second winner was home, sleeping soundly in her bed at about 3 a.m. when awoken by fire in her room. Demonstrating calmness beyond her years, she was able to wake her family and assist everyone out of the house to safety. 2 of her family members needed medical treatment for burns and smoke inhalation, but the situation could have been much worse had this youngster not acted as quickly as she did. For her heroic actions, we present the award for Outstanding EMS Action by a Youth to Tiana Arguez. Tiana, come on up. Got it, thanks. Is she here? Here she comes. Wait till you see how old she is. That is mighty impressive. Next series of awards are going to be given by Dr. Jennifer Waxler, who's the chairperson of the EMS Council. Jen?
All right, once again, it's my privilege and honor to be here amongst all of you tonight, because this awards ceremony and this week is really a tribute to what you do every day, and I'm always humbled to be sitting amongst all of you. So thank you for allowing us to be part of this as well. I want to just say a couple of things before I present the awards, and I have a couple to do. I'll try to do them pretty quickly for you here. To Karen and her amazing staff for a great conference. I say this every year. I don't think it can get any better. And then I sit through the lectures and realize that every year it seems to surpass the year before. So you guys did a great job. I know it's a lot of work, but I think the effort is here. And judging from this room, I think we all know the effort is here. So thank you all for taking the time to help us. And to Commissioner O'Dowd and Assistant Commissioner Rinn, you know, we very rarely have the two of them together at this. I think their presence speaks volume for their dedication to EMS, and I think we should especially thank them for being here as well. And also to all the nominees and everybody that's out here supporting the nominees, and especially to the families that are here for the tireless hours that you were alone while everybody was performing their unbelievable duties. I'd like to thank you all for allowing us all to do what we do every day, because clearly, without your support, these honorees couldn't be here tonight. So we're very appreciative of all that you do in supporting it. And the last thing I'll say to the EMS Council and the people that spend countless hours of doing committee work in New Jersey, your dedication to the specialty is awe-inspiring. I very rarely get to recognize you, so thank you for continuing your dedication. We have a lot of work to do in New Jersey, and I'm sure we're going to move forward with all of that. So the first award I'm going to present is the Outstanding EMS Call. And there are a number of nominees, so I'm going to ask you to hold your applause till the end, and we'll bring everybody up on stage. The first call that's being recognized occurred on the August summer morning. Austin fell some 50 to 75 feet down a waterfall at Stokes State Park. He suffered a severe brain injury and was bleeding from his ear and mouth and choking on his own blood. His mother was with him, and you can only imagine how that went. And she was stuck on a ledge, unable to get to him. The Blue Ridge Rescue Squad arrived some 20 minutes later. The first rescuer reached the mother and son by climbing out onto the waterfall and perching herself precariously on the narrow ledge while checking Austin's condition, applying a cervical collar and administering oxygen. She guided the efforts of other squad members as they arrived with a long backboard and rope to pull him off the ledge. Decades of professionalism and excellence of service culminated in this rescuer leading the way out onto the waterfall and its narrow, steep, slippery rocks, putting her own life at risk for the sake of saving Austin, a demonstrated commitment to a culture of caring. That's the Blue Ridge Rescue Squad, and we're going to recognize them in a second. The second call also being recognized, because this category was one that had unbelievable nominees, happened in October at about 2 a.m. The car was being driven the wrong way over the Outer Bridge crossing from Staten Island and struck a tractor trailer on the north side of the bridge. The local mobile intensive care unit, several ambulances, and the fire department were all dispatched to the scene. The responders arrived to find the tractor trailer fully involved in fire, and the truck driver had jumped from the truck. The driver of the car was pinned in his car downhill from the truck as burning fuel began to make its way toward the car. The responders managed to bend the car door back and displace and break enough of the dashboard so that the trap driver could be pulled to safety just a few minutes before the burning fuel reached the car and engulfed it in fire. Both drivers were treated for their injuries and transported to the hospital, demonstrating tremendous teamwork between fire and EMS and incredible bravery to save their patients. We're recognizing the Raritan Bay Medical Center and Perth Amboy Fire Department. So the winners for this year's Outstanding EMS Call Award winners are the Blue Ridge Rescue Squad, and that's Jan Larson and James Vance. Please come up for your awards. The Raritan... The Raritan Bay Medical Center, and that's Gary Batista, James Martin, Darren Bo Nemeth, and Matthew Redding. Everybody's here. And the Perth Amboy Fire Department, Eric Kaiser and Edward Mullen. Could you please all come up for your awards?
Okay. There you go. Can we persuade you, Jimmy? No? 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 Okay.
The next award that I'm going to present is the Outstanding EMS Action by a Citizen. You may have seen these individuals on your local television news program a couple of months ago. All selflessly risked their own lives to save strangers in a fiery car crash on Interstate 295, a crash that killed 3 others in the vehicle. But working together, they saved the life of young Hakeem Jones, who was seriously injured in the crash. Sadly, the crash took the lives of 3 others, including the young boy's mother. While referred to as heroes by a local newspaper, one of our award winners was quoted as saying, "The real heroes are those people out there every second of the day saving lives, the firefighters and the EMT personnel who volunteer their time and put their lives on the line. All acted on instinct, doing their best to rescue every trapped person in the fiery car without regard for their own safety." I am pleased to present this year's Outstanding EMS Action by a Citizen Award winners to Marie Breslin, John Paul Parkinson, and Richard Vaughn. Please come up for your awards. Over here. Over here. Is it coming up? I guess not. Okay, we'll move on. On to Outstanding EMS Physician. Beyond the scope of his duties here at Gloucester County EMS, this physician has a never-ending outspoken advocate for outstanding patient care. He has spoken directly with New Jersey legislators in support of S818-82095, the EMS reform legislation. He participates actively in our BLS subcommittee for the New Jersey EMS Council and meets regularly with the medical director for the area ALS agency and medical directors of area skilled nursing facilities to assure the continuum of care for EMS patients. Those of you that know this recipient know that he's all about collaboration, and he tends to make everybody feel very comfortable the minute you walk into a room with him. He's available at all hours of the day and night for consultation with field providers by telephone and email, and spends at least 6 hours each week wearing the same uniform as all the other staff members, riding as a member of the crew to provide direct one-on-one consultation for his crews. He's quoted as saying, "Any episode of poor performance is an opportunity as a teaching point," and that appears to be his motto, and he definitely lives by this. He's able to direct staff members to non-clinical community resources for our patients, and he provides a wealth of extras well beyond the traditional scope of EMS care. His prior experience as a medical director brings insight to the county operations, saving the taxpayers thousands of budget dollars, a significant accomplishment in today's economic times. I am pleased to present this year's Outstanding EMS Physician to Victor Herezniak. Please come up for your award. Woo!
First of all, I'd like to say thank you very much for receiving this award. One of the points that I thought about was that the people I need to thank most are my family. I think everyone here understands that it's our families that pay the greatest sacrifice. My children grew up thinking it was normal for Dad to get a phone call at any hour of the day and disappear. So they've come to realize that not all dads are like that, but I think everyone in this room understands that. And I would also like to thank the people I work with. I totally enjoy what I do. I love every minute of getting the opportunity to work with people who are committed to serving others. I enjoy teaching, mentoring. I enjoy just going on the calls and being with them. I'm very lucky. I honestly believe I have one of the greatest jobs in the world. Thank you.
The next award I'm going to present is the Outstanding First Responder. 2 police officers were dispatched to a construction accident. On scene, they found a 62-year-old construction worker severely bleeding, having severed several of his fingers with a table saw. The 2 officers were able to control the man's bleeding, treat him for shock, locate and preserve the severed fingers using a glove and snow, hoping that they'd be able to be reattached at the hospital. Through their quick actions, the construction worker was given the best chance for a full recovery. One of the officers was quoted as saying, "This is what our job is, and hopefully what we did is going to help him. We were there at the right time, at the right place." I am pleased to present this year's Outstanding First Responder Award winners to Robbinsville Police Department, to Officer Tom Egan and Officer Scott Kivett. Please come up for your awards. And now I'd like to introduce somebody who really doesn't need any introduction, Mr. Mickey McCabe.
Good evening. The first presentation is going to go to the outstanding EMS dispatcher. This individual demonstrates a strong commitment to motivating others towards service excellence through encouraging exemplary behavior and personal example. He demonstrates the highest levels of empathy and customer satisfaction in his interaction with the public during 911 calls, projecting a caring, reassuring, and calming attitude. Voluntarily active in the agency's 911 quality assurance program, he does so out of a sincere desire to ensure that the clinical quality of emergency medical dispatch is at its highest levels. In case evaluation scores, he averages 99 and never less than 100 in customer satisfaction. His quick action and decisiveness results in keeping callers calm throughout their stressful situations. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm pleased to present to you this year's outstanding EMS dispatcher, David Kay.
Congratulations, David. Look right at the camera there. Is that what you want? You hold this. This is yours there. Him, me, him. One more. Thank you,
Now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to deviate a little bit here, and I'm going to ask Andy Lovell, who is the Chief of Gloucester County EMS, to step forward. I have a very special award in a very special setting. It's the Outstanding Career EMT. Come on up here, Andy. It's not him. This year's winner is Robert Stahl. Robert Stahl is an EMT who serves under Andy's leadership down in Gloucester County. Community service has always been very important to the award recipient, which is why he exchanged a high-paying job for work as an EMT. He started his EMS career as a volunteer later in life to help his community, turning his hobby into a full-time job while still volunteering at a local fire department to continue to give back to his neighborhood. He always treated patients like family with outstanding clinical skills and unending compassion, while at the same time fighting his own battle with a life-threatening disease. And throughout his treatment, his goal was always to get back onto the street with his brother and sister EMTs to do the job that he loves. He was truly an exceptional individual. As a matter of fact, I had the opportunity to speak to Andy this morning, and I didn't know Bobby personally. But what Andy would say to me is that Bobby would always say to him, "Chief, when I recuperate from surgery," and he had many, "I'll be back." And he did come back. His cancer began in 2007. It went into remission after surgery, and then it reappeared. He had multiple surgeries, multiple treatments, and he came back. Every single time he kept his promise. Unfortunately, we lost Bobby this morning. Yes, we all share in that grief. He would hope to have been here today. It was one of his goals. We are blessed to have with us his son, Brandon. Brandon, please stand. I know that you don't want to come up. Please stand to be recognized. Thank you for that, because I am told that Bobby's wife, Michelle, is also watching this via the streaming that's being done here. So, Michelle, from all of us here, we grieve your loss, and we thank you. We thank you for the time that you gave us of him. And Brenda, when you go home today, please give Mom a great big hug from all of us for the love, devotion, and dedication to EMS that he had, and we hope and we're sure that as crowded as we are here in this room today, he has one of the best seats in the house, looking down upon us, smiling at what he sees, his brothers and sisters in harmony. And let us move forward, always thinking about how he never gave up. So Andy, on behalf of us here, I'd like to present to you this award, which I'm asking that you please bring home, give to his wife, and with our love, appreciation, and sympathy.
On behalf of those of us that had the privilege and honor of working with Bob, I just wanted to say thank you. Thanks very much.
Earlier this, excuse me. Earlier at the beginning of the presentations, at the beginning of the program tonight, the pipe band played Amazing Grace. Those of us in emergency services know that unfortunately every time that we go to a fallen brother's, sister's funeral, Amazing Grace is played. Unfortunately, this year here in the state of New Jersey, it's been played a number of times. And I'd like to certainly acknowledge 6 other line-of-duty deaths here in New Jersey. Andy Boyd was with the Camden County Fire Department. On October 3rd, Andy Boyd was found in cardiac arrest in his car after getting off his ship. James Dockery. James' wife Marilyn, I believe, is with us here today. Marilyn, if you please stand to be recognized. Jim is from the Bergen County Public Safety Training Academy. Richard Hanlon from the Madison Volunteer Ambulance Corps. He was responding to a motor vehicle accident on February 15th when he became unresponsive and unable to be resuscitated. He was a 15-year member of the Madison Volunteer Ambulance Corps. Also, and this is something all near and dear to us, it happened just this past hurricane. Michael Kenwood and Mr. and Mrs. Kenwood, I believe, are in attendance from the Princeton First Aid Squad. Please stand to be recognized, Mr. and Mrs. Kenwood. Michael gave his life while he was conducting a water rescue operation in Princeton during the hurricane, and we grieve your loss as well. Bruce Mandel. Let me just say this about Bruce. I had not met Bruce until approximately 5 days before his passing. He had come to the New Jersey Transit signing of the disaster plan for the task force. He came up to me at the Lautenberg train station, introduced himself, and told me about this new product that he designed, and it would work at MCIs. He was all excited. And he called me 3 days later. And then the next day, I found out that he had collapsed after a call he had been on and passed away, showing how fragile life is and how we can take nothing for granted because we just don't know. Matthew Pelletier. Where's Matthew's parents? I believe Matthew's parents are here with us today. River Edge Volunteer Ambulance Corps, right over here. It has been almost a year since Matthew passed, but I'm sure that the pain and the loss and the grief will never go away, and we thank you for the time we had with him. Also, not necessarily a line of duty here, but while serving our country in Afghanistan, Benjamin Moore, a New Jersey EMT, and I believe Mr. and Mrs. Moore is here. Are you in attendance here, please? Right here. Thank you very much for all your son did for New Jersey and for his country. And lastly, Billy Walker Jr. Billy lost his life off duty as an EMT when he was stabbed coming to the assistance of someone else, as is so typical in the lives of all of us, but not necessarily with the outcome that Billy had. And I understand that Billy's mom and dad are also in attendance. Would you please stand to be recognized? Again, thank you very, very much, and we grieve your loss. To all of you who have lost loved ones, rest assured this is all part of your family. You don't grieve alone. You don't lose alone. We are here for you. In emergency services, unfortunately, it is something that we deal with every single day. It never makes it easy, and it's always quite difficult in many, many cases. But when it's one of our own, it makes it that much harder. And I encourage all of you, especially those in the South Jersey area, to watch for the listings for the viewing and for the services that will be coming up over the next couple of days. We do not yet have all of the information on Bobby's wake. But please, it would be appropriate as we as an EMS community comes together and pays the homage and the respect that is due he on his passing for all he has done for us. And I thank each and every one of you who have lost someone. We have a plaque for you. We ask that you come forward at the end of the ceremony today so that we can give it to you in the quiet. And again, God bless you all. And I'm sure there's not a one of them who wouldn't want us to go on with the program, who wouldn't say, look, enough, stop about me, let's talk about you. And we have an outstanding volunteer EMT. Actually, we have 3. This year, there are 3 EMTs we'd like to honor with the Outstanding Volunteer Award. The first recipient consistently demonstrates positive attribute of volunteer EMS through participating in training for school-age children, high school students, and adults. He's an important part of the instructors for the local CERT team, has maintained a line officer or executive officer position every year in his agency, promotes education for both new and seasoned members. He can often be found teaching classes to members of the community, all the while being a positive role model for members and people in the community. He keeps up on current trends in EMS and provides the most up-to-date evidence based on clinical treatment. Ladies and gentlemen, our first awardee, Kevin Ott. I'd ask the President of the First Aid Council to come forward to present with me, please. Oh, thank you. And the winner? Oh. Nobody's coming forward. Kevin? Congratulations to you. Okay. You want a picture over here? Come on, get up here. Oh, yeah? Okay, you step in. More? Okay. All right. Thank you. Please stay up. Our next recipient has been integral member of the Ambulance Corps for over 20 years, has answered 4,000 calls, always a leader willing to donate of his time and mentor new members. He has served as captain for the past 2 years and holds every member to the high standard for which he holds himself. Always looking to improve. He's instilled a culture of treating the patient as a whole, physically and emotionally, focusing on relieving the stress, anxiety, and fear most patients experience. He's available to all other members to talk about difficult calls or those with unfortunate patient outcomes, no matter the time of day. Ladies and gentlemen, Michael Rothschild. One more time, Michael Rothschild. Michael couldn't be with us tonight, accepting on his behalf. He's on location. Call Red Square. Our third recipient serves as mentor and role model for members under the age of 18. She develops learning opportunities for the cadets in which they can practice their BLS skills in a non-life-threatening and fun atmosphere, helping them build both their confidence and knowledge. Elected as secretary of her organization, she handles official correspondence and graphic design needs, each with enthusiasm and professionalism. On record as volunteering over 500 hours while maintaining an academic good standard at an accelerated BSN program, she has competed in the 2009-2010 METI Games, winning gold and silver medals. In each experience, she sees an opportunity to learn, uses her abilities as a natural leader, and inspires others. Ladies and gentlemen, Beth Ann Stauffer. Let's come over this side. Come on over there. Here you go. Come on in here. Thank you. That concludes my remarks, but rest assured, out of the many presentations I've done over many, many years, this has been the most challenging, while at the same time, the most rewarding. I thank you all for your attendance and for your attention to such tragic consequences. And ladies and gentlemen, Scott Casper.
Thanks, Mickey. Good evening, everyone. Welcome. And as has been said by others, I'm very honored and privileged to be standing in front of all of you tonight. I thank every single one of you for what you do and what you've dedicated to the patients that we serve. I have to say, Mickey's usually a hard act to follow, more for the comic relief that he has to offer than anything else. But tonight, probably more than ever, a hard act to follow because of the really serious stuff that he had to talk about. And I wish all of those families and their friends and colleagues all of the best as we move forward with them in our memories. I'm here to present to you this year's Outstanding ALS Provider. This year's award recipient demonstrates leadership both in his career as a paramedic and in his personal life. He takes the time to ensure that every member of the patient care team is doing their part. He treats his patient in a professional manner while maintaining a calm demeanor that is felt by patients, their family members, and other EMS personnel alike. He keeps his patients and family members informed about the care being provided, why one hospital may be selected over another, and what to expect when they arrive at the emergency department. He provides that compassionate extra hand, treating all of his patients as if they were his family. I'm pleased to present you this year's Outstanding ALS Provider Award winner, Ian Roberts.
Guys, thank you very much. I don't even know where to begin. There's so many people I could thank. I guess I want to start with all the BLS providers out there. I want you to know that most of us in ALS, hopefully all of us in ALS, recognize the amazing job you do. What we do, it starts with the amazing dispatchers that we have, starts with our first responders, BLS crews. Those of you that worked with me, you know that my line when people want to thank me as an ALS provider is, don't thank me, I just paid a lot of money to play with sharp objects. Thank my BLS providers. It's funny that Scott's giving me this award because my career as an ALS provider started with the amazing education I received through Virtua and starting my career as a paramedic there, where I'm still proud to work per diem now with Underwood. My project director, obviously Scott in my per diem job, my full-time project director here, Jim Baca, and Johnny Delgado, who I had the privilege of working with. But above all else, I really want to thank my family. This is really, really a special year for me. I have my mom with me, Claire, my son Jeffrey, who is now in paramedic school, my daughters Rebecca, Katie, my best friend Sloan and his wife. But of all people, on August 23rd of last year, my wife was diagnosed with an advanced stage of invasive breast cancer. She's endured 33 weeks of chemotherapy, 4 hours of surgery, 7 weeks of radiation. And despite all the losses that we've had to the terrible disease of cancer, I am blessed to be able to tell you that I wouldn't be doing this job if it wasn't for her. She has been my rock. And there she is. Stand up, I want them to see you. Thank you all that you've given us for support. Thank you so much. This is for you.
And now it's my pleasure to introduce the next award presenter, Assistant Commissioner Christopher Wren.
Good evening. It's truly an honor for me to be here today to present these awards. First, the Outstanding Volunteer EMS Agency. The members of this volunteer EMS agency are truly hometown heroes, as they often know the patients they serve as neighbors and friends. 3 basic life support ambulances are operated by this agency with an all-volunteer crew. Active with the New Jersey State First Aid Council, this agency routinely provides general public education to protect the health and safety of their community members, hosting EMT, CPR, and a wide variety of continuing education classes. They're an integral part of the EMS community. Members of this squad must demonstrate competency through an in-house educational process, helping to ensure that state-of-the-art care is provided to every patient. Operational officers review care rendered for quality assurance. Its members serve in a variety of EMS-related statewide advisory groups and represent the agency's desire to be on the cutting edge of basic life support care in our state. I'm pleased to present you this year's Outstanding Volunteer EMS Agency, the Pennington First Aid Squad. Now the award for Outstanding Private EMS Agency. This agency has always strived to be on the forefront of EMS and has done so for many years. Utilizing available data, they became one of the first agencies to institute a policy governing the use of lights and sirens, dramatically reducing the risk of responding motor vehicle accidents. Monitoring response times, this agency employed dynamic deployment of resources to best provide coverage to the most dense volume areas by dramatically reducing response times. Strong emphasis has been placed on customer service to ensure the population receives the appropriate service, and with EMS charts, improving quality every step of the way. Active within their community, they have delivered public health presentations, such as fall prevention, in the hopes of reducing injury amongst their senior population. This agency was able to transition from an all-volunteer to a career agency without an increase in taxes for the municipality, in part by regionalizing their service to provide coverage to nearby communities. I am pleased to present to you this year's Outstanding Private EMS Agency, the Mansfield Township Ambulance Corps.
First, I'd like to thank the EMS Award Committee for recognizing us as a service that we performed in our township without any reservation to any problems that their patients may have as far as billing or feeing or whatever their services may need. And also to our EMS chief that has implemented many of these new guidelines for our people to follow, that's also reduced our possibilities of having an incident of a traffic vehicle incident during response to calls. That we've done a tremendous data system in doing this, and hopefully that it might spread through the state of New Jersey, that's showing that we don't need lights and sirens to respond to every call that we do in the state of New Jersey. The response times really is not that much difference. And finally, I'd like to just thank the EMS Award Committee for awarding us this award. Thank you.
Our next award winner is an agency which provides EMS service to the New Brunswick campus of the state's largest university and mutual aid to neighboring municipalities. With 3 full-time staff and over 40 per diems, they average 2,500 responses a year. The staff is a tight-knit professional community that truly enjoys their job and their positive impact through education of students and the public alike. 4,000 individuals receive training each year in everything from CPR to defensive driving. Large-scale events are managed with the agency's resources by providing high-quality basic life support care with the intent to treat each patient as you would want your family member treated, and to also treat each staff member with the professionalism to develop the best provider possible. As one of the 4 EMT pilot programs conducted this spring, the agency's training bureau utilized science-based educational approaches to develop learning objectives and scenarios to foster critical thinking within the new BLS provider. I am pleased to present to you this year's Outstanding Public EMS Award winner, Rutgers University Department of Emergency Services. I would like to introduce our next presenter from the Office of Emergency Medical Services, Nancy Kelly Goodstein.
So the folks at the table were laughing because, as you can see, the older I get, the larger print I use. So in case the glasses go missing, I can still read it. I'm pleased this year to be able to present this year's EMS Educator of the Year Award. Our candidate actively teaches both lay, public, and physicians alike, maintaining instructor credentials in ACLS, PALS, NRP, ENPC, PHTLS, TNCC, AT&T, to name a few, and whoever hits bingo, let us know. Any bingos? Okay. He was described as being the most well-rounded EMS providers ever encountered, all while making EMS education his personal mission. Everyday medicine evolves, bringing advances in patient care, creating new challenges for us EMS personnel. One of the latest medical innovations is the ventricular assist device, or VAD. The care of the VAD patient defies traditional EMS protocols. So what's an educator to do? Develop subject matter expertise in the emergent out-of-hospital care of these technology-assisted patients, formulate an educational program entitled Iron Man, and begin outreach education for the communities where these unique patients live. He developed a website containing VAD support information, extending his reach as an educator, which is already including both New York and New Jersey. Countless EMS providers are better prepared to provide quality medical care because of his passion for education. I am pleased to present to you this year's Outstanding EMS Educator Award winner, Ray Bennett. He promises me no PowerPoint.
And all because I got invited to the wrong committee meeting at the hospital. With the VAD program, we used to send a letter to the community saying we have a patient in your community that has this device and good luck. You know, it was basically that's all the information we'd give out, but we decided that that wasn't going to be good enough and that we needed to provide better education. So with a little bit of time and effort, we put together a program, and I'd like to thank the office for allowing us to expand the program. Thank you.
I'd now like to introduce Matt Peacock from Medi Technologies to distribute this year's Medi Game Awards.
Good evening. As the leading manufacturer of patient simulators, Medi is extremely proud to support this conference and the annual Medi Games. I know that there are a lot of people anxious to understand the results, so I'm going to go ahead and announce them. As I call the names, if each winner could come forward and stand in the front, you'll be awarded your medal. The third place ALS team from Virtua, team number 2, Andrew Ecker and Carl Bittenbender. In third place, on the BLS side, from UMDNJ, team number 1, Joseph Sapinza and Vincent Covino. In second place, from the ALS side, from Virtua, team number 1, Michael Martin and Steve Napoli. In second place, on the BLS side, from UMDNJ, team number 3, Kim Rumdecker and Kelly Tompkins. And in first place, I guess you know who you are. From the ALS side, from Underwood Memorial Hospital, Harry Shelton and Ian Roberts. And on the BLS side, from Valley Hospital, Mike Maxown and Jeff Wiles. On behalf of Medi and the Medi Games, congratulations.
Congratulations, guys. Our next presenter this evening, Karen Halupke, the Director of the Office of EMS.
We have 2 nurses to honor this evening in the category of Outstanding Hospital Emergency Department Nurse. Our first nurse started as an emergency department technician and has recently been named Director of Nursing. He has been instrumental in providing continuing education to local EMS providers and has taken an active role in the Burlington County First Aid Council and created an EMS rest stop in the emergency department for pre-hospital emergency medical personnel. He is dedicated to ensuring that the emergency department remains open and is available to discuss patient disposition. Always friendly and outgoing, he is attentive to the patient and EMS needs and is willing to assist with the care of any and all patients. Our first award for the Outstanding Hospital Emergency Department Nurse goes to Timothy Marks from Virtual Memorial Hospital, Burlington. Our second nurse can often be found waiting outside the emergency department to meet the incoming crew with a critical patient, to assist with patient care and unloading, and to get that patient update. He ensures that all patients are seen quickly and care started immediately. As the assistant manager, he assumes the leadership role in the ED by ensuring that the emergency department runs smoothly and is the first to step up to help with EMS training and promoting a good working relationship with the emergency department staff and EMS. He works with both the medic interns and nursing students to ensure a positive learning environment and can always be seen spending time after his shift helping students progress. He is always patient and kind, genuinely caring about everyone in the emergency department. Our second Outstanding Hospital Emergency Department Nurse Award goes to Robert Mulry from the Meridian Health Ocean Medical Center. Our next category is for Outstanding EMS Administrator. This award recipient is committed to her department and staff, spanning more than 30 years of leadership and service to the community, as evidenced by both her activities within and outside the workplace. She organizes fundraising events for breast cancer awareness, blood drive, and HLA Registry Foundation for bone marrow transplants, and a medical fair held several times a year for employees who otherwise would have limited access to medical care. She maintains an open door policy for any staff member who wishes to speak with her, personal or work-related. She leads by example, always available 24/7 to her staff and her employees. She has always demonstrated the highest level of clinical standards and care. Her department has been consistently able to operate below budget without negatively impacting their services at any complex sporting event. Her staff consists of 15 physicians, 15 registered nurses, and 60 emergency medical technicians. I am pleased to present this year's Outstanding EMS Administrator Award to Frances Guthrie from the New Jersey Sports and Exposition Authority.
I'd also like to just mention that this award came easy to me because I have a wonderful family that allows me the time to dedicate to my career, and a wonderful husband who's here tonight. And I have 5 great full-time EMTs, a coordinator that helps me every day, and 40 part-time EMT people that are just dedicated to their job. And I've never met a group of part-time people that could give up every weekend through the whole football season without complaining. I'm sure their families complain a lot, but they're great people, and they do a great job for me, and they make my life and my job very easy. I thank them, and I share it with them.
Picture. You can't leave without the picture. The next award is for EMS Volunteer Lifetime Achievement Award. This year's recipient has served as a volunteer on the West Windsor First Aid Squad for 28 years, and he has been elected to various leadership positions, including lieutenant, captain, deputy chief, chief, and cadet advisor. He never lets an opportunity to mentor a trainee or a cadet go by, demonstrating his commitment to training an excellent patient care team. He has been recognized by various organizations for excellence through such awards as the Educator of the Year from Capitol Health and the EMT of the Year from West Windsor Township. He always cares for his patients using the most up-to-date clinical standards, and he shares those standards with fellow squad members to optimize patient care. As the cadet advisor, he makes the time to mentor even the youngest members. I am pleased to present this year's EMS Volunteer Lifetime Achievement Award to Mel Sanders of the West Windsor First Aid Squad. The next award is for EMS Career Lifetime Achievement Award. This recipient has completed an amazing 53 years in EMS this year, with his retirement just 2 months ago. He has been a full-time practicing field paramedic working for AtlantiCare EMS in Cape May County, eclipsing many far younger EMS providers, always receiving praise from patients and co-workers alike. He has been the standard by which many of his peers have measured themselves. He has always had time for everyone, mentoring, counseling, and mostly just listening to friends and peers alike. His skills at 70 years young are still as sharp as they were 50 years ago when his career began. I am pleased to present this year's EMS Career Lifetime Achievement Award to James Klein. Now, our last category of the evening was created to allow for some special thank yous and the ability to recognize important accomplishments and achievements in emergency medical services. Some of these are my personal thank yous. First, I would like to thank Assistant Commissioner Rinn for his support of the conference and for the Office of Emergency Medical Services. I need to thank Nancy Kelly Goodstein and Don Roberts for all their conference planning. Tim Saplecki and Bill Capella for all the IT work. Eric Hicken for the Medi Games. Our conference planners from the Academy of Family Practice Physicians, who I'm sure they're glad it's almost over, Ray, Candida, Teresa, Robin, and especially Sarah. But the people I have to thank most, I'm going to embarrass them and ask them to stand, and that would be the staff in the Office of EMS and the Phillip Division. Come on. These folks work tirelessly, not just to put on this conference, but do a whole lot of work with a whole small amount of personnel, and it is my great pleasure to work with them each and every day. And I need to recognize someone very special. In our office, we have a volunteer. We call her Mom. She's Bonnie's mom in our office. Her name is Laura Siemens, and she's 87 years old. She comes to work in the Office of EMS, and she's here at our conference working with us, and she probably registered many of you today. Laura? Now, my first group of awards goes to 4 individuals who took on the challenge of piloting the new EMT program this year. Through a combination of talent, expertise, blood, sweat, and even some tears, all 4 of these coordinators with their instructors and medical directors developed EMT programs using the new EMS education standards, focusing on delivering the highest quality patient care. These 4 remarkable individuals are now mentoring other EMT coordinators as they deliver their first EMT programs, sharing their knowledge and experiences so that future programs in our state will deliver innovative quality education to produce critical thinking EMTs who will care for us and our families. I am pleased to recognize Mark Chapman, Debbie McClintock, Mike Tarantino, and Phyllis Wustermeyer with a 2011 Director's Award. You have to come up, Phyllis. And I believe Mark Chapman is not here. Pat Lutz was going to accept for him. Yes? We did it. You did it. You did it. Congratulations. Thank you so much. I never thought. Congratulations. Photo outside. Okay. Okay. Thank you, Pat. You'll congratulate him for us. Get everybody's camera? We're done? Thank you. Thank you so much. They love you so much. Thank you. As you've heard much about tonight, in August, Hurricane Irene challenged us in New Jersey. But it also showed us that we have a high level of cooperation and teamwork in our response. Our EMS task force, our county OEM EMS coordinators, and our EMS providers and agencies worked tirelessly during this response, evacuating more than 3,500 patients and residents. With all of our resources fully engaged, we looked to our neighboring state for help. This was the first time in history that New Jersey that we used EMAC to request additional EMS resources into our state. We're used to sending them out of our state to help our neighboring state in New York. Joe Schmieder, the state EMS director in Pennsylvania, was there to help. He identified available resources in his state and was in constant contact with me as we waited for the EMAC request to be approved. In total, 75 ambulances and 249 personnel from Pennsylvania responded to assist us with statewide evacuations, the repopulation of healthcare facilities, shelter support, 911 response, and swift water and dam watches. It is with their assistance, along with all of our EMS agencies here in New Jersey, that we were able to save countless lives and impact far many more. I would now like to call up representatives from Pennsylvania Region 2 EMS Strike Team, the Western Pennsylvania EMS Strike Team, and the Pennsylvania EMS State Director, Joseph Schmieder, to present all of them with Director's Awards and to thank them for their support. Representing PA Region 2 is Dr. Everett Binns from the Eastern EMS Council, and from the Western Pennsylvania Strike Team Command Staff, we have Tom McElvery, Curtis Valdeseri, Amos Cameron, Michael Nemec, Jason Hayes, and Bob Smith. We need to offer them a round of thanks.
Very, very nice. Very, very nice. Go here with Joe.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you for joining us tonight. Thank you. Say something? You can say whatever you like, Joe. Ev, you want to say something?
Let me just say, Karen, thank you very much. I do know, and we do know in Pennsylvania, that if we needed the resources, you'd be there to help us, so it was really our honor to help you. We recognize a small group here tonight, but we have almost 1,000 people back home that do this every day and help us do this. So just know that if you needed us again, we would be here, but also know that if we need you, we'll be asking also. So thank you for this award.
Our last award of the evening are for two individuals who have dedicated many hours over the years to our statewide EMS conference and have enhanced the Medigame experience through the use of video. Their commitment has not only made it possible to share the Medigame's participants' experience on our website, but this was the first year that our final games were live via webcast last night. So we have no idea at this point how many people actually watched it. It is my pleasure to present the Director's Awards to Gary Ackerman and Casey Price. I guess they're camera shy, I don't know. We'll make sure they get it. As we conclude this evening, I have a couple more thank yous. I want to thank all of our vendors for their support. Without them, they make our conference special. They add the special touches for us. And I also have another special group to thank, the Hoboken High School volunteers. Can they stand up? They're here with their teacher and their EMTs from Hoboken High School. They participated in our Medigames, and I think they probably learned a lot. And it was very nice of them to be able to stay for this evening also with us. I want to remind the families of the individuals for the line of duty deaths to come up. We have certificates for you at the end of the program. I also want to let you know, just like you're at a wedding, that you can take the centerpieces. So please take the centerpiece. It seems a shame to waste such beautiful flowers tonight and have them be thrown out. This does conclude this evening's program, and I would like to thank you all for sharing our special evening with us. And have a very safe trip home. Thank you again.